A mysterious fog blankets the screen, shrouding an isolated forest where the twisted branches reach out like skeletal hands. The scene cuts to a lone priest standing at the edge of the forest, clutching a weathered ancient book tightly to his chest. His face is etched with fear, and beads of sweat roll down his brow. Under his breath he murmurs a desperate prayer, pleading with forces unseen. He knows what he is about to do is forbidden, yet he feels he has no choice. Trembling, he begins to chant, calling forth a name that's been locked away for centuries, a name tied to an ancient curse. His voice echoes through the darkness, and as he whispers the final word, a low, guttural sound rumbles from the shadows, signaling that something has awakened, a force that should have remained undisturbed. Heretic is more than just a tale of horror. It's a relentless exploration of faith, truth, and the boundaries of human fear. The story plunges viewers into the psyche of Alex, a young, skeptical journalist whose journey will force him to confront his deepest doubts and fears. His quest begins in a small, unassuming town, known only for its eerie past and the whispered tales of a sinister cult hidden within its folds. Our story truly begins with Alex, sitting in a dimly lit cafe, staring at his laptop, scrolling through a page after page of missing persons reports. Each face, each name, haunts him. They all represent someone who vanished without a trace in connection to the cult. Alex isn't just investigating for a story. He's on a personal mission. He has a painful secret. His own sister, Sarah, went missing under similar circumstances years ago. Driven by grief, guilt, and a smoldering desire for closure, he has devoted his life to finding answers. But this is no ordinary story. Each clue he finds only leads to more questions, each discovery pulling him deeper into a darkness he may not escape. The atmosphere in town is tense. Alex feels eyes on him, watching his every move. As he interviews locals, he encounters frightened glances and tight-lipped responses. The townsfolk are afraid to speak openly, and whispers of the Order fill the air. The Order, a rumored cult believed to worship an ancient, malevolent entity, has cast a shadow over the town for generations. Alex's questions stir something in the air, a restlessness that warns him he's treading on dangerous ground. But the loss of his sister fuels his resolve, and he presses on, knowing that the truth is buried somewhere in this forsaken place. One night, Alex receives an anonymous message. A cryptic note slipped under his hotel door. The note reads, "Seek out Sarah." His heart races as he considers the implications. Someone knows he's looking for his sister. But how? Determined, he follows the note's instructions to a decrepit building on the outskirts of town, a place locals claim is haunted. There he encounters a woman with hollow eyes and a haunted expression, who introduces herself as Sarah. But not his Sarah. She's a former cult member who escaped, barely holding on to her sanity. Sarah's voice shakes as she recounts horrific stories of rituals, sacrifices, and the unseen entity that the Order worships. She tells Alex about the cult's origins, revealing that the entity is said to promise eternal life, but only at a terrible cost. Its followers must pay with human souls, an unending debt of blood and fear. Alex feels a chill creep down his spine, but the fire of his determination only burns brighter. He must uncover the truth, not just for his sister, but for all those who have disappeared. Sarah reluctantly agrees to help Alex and leads him to an abandoned church, the cult's rumored meeting place. The building looms ominously, its once grand architecture now crumbling, with broken stained glass windows casting eerie colors onto the dusty floor. Inside, the air is thick, stale, and filled with an almost tangible darkness. As they explore, they find remnants of the cult's presence, a blood-stained altar, strange symbols scrawled on the walls, and the lingering scent of something foul. Suddenly, Alex feels a presence behind him, and he turns to see a figure cloaked in shadows. It's Father Malachi, the enigmatic leader of the Order. His eyes gleam with a twisted sort of amusement as he confronts Alex, hinting that he knows more about him than he should. Malachi's words are laced with threats, but he speaks with an unnerving calm that chills Alex to the core. He warns Alex to leave town and abandon his search, but Alex refuses, standing his ground despite the fear gnawing at him. Determined to dig deeper, Alex and Sarah leave the church, but they know they're being watched. Every sound, every shadow seems to move with intent, as if the town itself is alive, conspiring against them. Sarah warns Alex that Malachi's influence runs deeper than they realize. The cult isn't just a local group. It has powerful allies, and anyone who defies it faces dire consequence. But Alex is undeterred. He combs through old records, piecing together a trail of disappearances and deaths that spans centuries. Each name, each face, adds weight to his mission, and he realizes that the Order's reach extends far beyond this town. The cult has roots in every corner of society, a web of influence and power that stretches across continents. The realization leaves him shaken but resolute. He knows he can't stop now. Late one night, while sifting through files in his hotel room, Alex hears a faint whisper, his sister's voice calling his name. His heart pounds as he follows the sound down a dark hallway, each step amplifying his dread. The whispers lead him to an empty room, and as he steps inside, the door slams shut behind him. Trapped, he feels a suffocating presence closing in, pressing against his mind with thoughts that aren't his own. Images of the entity flood his vision. A dark figure, with hollow eyes, and a mouth twisted into a sinister grin, watching, waiting. Alex stumbles back, gasping for breath, his pulse racing as he realizes the entity has taken an interest in him. Shaken but undeterred, he regains his composure, steeling himself for the battle that lies ahead. As he gathers evidence, Alex finds clues that suggest his sister may still be alive, held captive by the Order as part of their ritualistic sacrifice. The hope of finding her fuels him, giving him strength even as the dangers mount. He and Sarah prepare to infiltrate a gathering of the Order, risking everything to confront Malachi and free his sister. But as they descend into the depths of the cult's hidden lair, the air grows heavy, filled with the hum of chanting voices. The walls seem to pulse with a dark energy, and Alex feels his grip on reality slipping as the entity's presence looms closer, feeding off his fear and despair. In the lair's inner sanctum, they find a room lined with symbols and relics from centuries past. At the center stands a twisted altar, surrounded by followers cloaked in darkness, their faces hidden in shadows. Malachi stands at the head, his eyes gleaming with anticipation as he leads the chant. The ritual reaches its peak, and Alex sees his sister bound on the altar, her face pale, but her eyes defiant. Fueled by desperation, he lunges forward, fighting through the cult members to reach her, but Malachi steps in his way, blocking his path. The two men face off, a battle of wills as much as physical strength. Malachi taunts him, revealing that the cult has been watching him his entire life, grooming him for this very moment. The revelation rocks Alex, and he struggles to process the implications, but his resolve only strengthens. He knows he must end this, for his sister and for himself. The climax is a heart-pounding confrontation as Alex battles Malachi and the entity itself, drawing on every ounce of strength to resist its influence. The air crackles with energy, as the entity's form begins to manifest, a swirling mass of shadows and malevolence. The cult members chant louder, their voices rising to a fever pitch, and Alex feels the pull of the darkness, trying to consume him. But with a final surge of defiance, he breaks free, shattering the cult's hold and dispelling the entity's presence. The room falls silent, and the cult members scatter, their power broken. As the sun rises, Alex and his sister emerge from the lair, weary but victorious. The town, once shrouded in darkness, seems lighter, as if a weight has been lifted. Alex knows the battle is far from over. The cult still exists, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to return. But for now, he has won a small victory, and he vows to continue his fight against the forces of darkness, knowing that the truth he has uncovered is both a curse and a blessing.